Okay, guys, so hello again. My name is Emma, and welcome to Saturday Night Threads. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to make sure you can see me, and so I can show you what I'm working on this weekend. I just don't want the camera to fall on top of a book. Okay, so I was seeing a lot of people getting into this needle punch craft. And I thought it was really cute, but what I was seeing was something totally different. But some were making, these coasters for cars. Some were making them just for their home and stuff like that. And I thought it was really cool. I said, hey, you know what? I should try that. It seems like, they're all getting into it. Let me give it a go. And let me see what the whole, is about. So I did order a kit. And it did come, this is the kit I ordered. So it's for a Valentine's Day theme. And it did come with the yarn. It didn't come with the scissors. I already had the scissors. As a matter of fact, those weren't even the scissors I was using. It did come with this thread, but I'm not sure what this thread was for. So I'm just gonna put it in there. It did come with the canvas, which are a lot of sheets of what each design is going to be. That was, of course, you'll see the ones with the dots. And then this one was the word with the love on there, which this is the one with the word with the love on there. And then the one with the dots. And then the last one, I think, was this one right here. Okay. Well, let me put this other light on. I'm just trying to walk slow so I won't knock anything down. Okay. So that's what I'm working on. And it did come with the threader and a little pulley thing, well, just a threader, a little threader, and that thing right there. And it came with, of course, the punch needle. And this is the threader of what I'm talking about. You have to use this whole thing in order to pull. You can barely see it. The wire is like so thin. And it came with the backings. I think I had one out. Yeah, I have another one right here. It came with the coaster backing, which I'm going to put aside because I'm going to use it. And then it came with its own little scissors, which was very useful. So I'm going to put that here. It came with a carrier. These are the two that I did recently. So it came with a little carrier. So these are this one I made. I think it was yesterday. And this one came out really cute. And this is how it looks in the back. So this one came out cute. And now I'm getting started on this one right here. Well, I'm trying to finish it. And it did come with instructions, even though the instructions really, I mean, they were okay, but the instructions were so small. I had to use a magnifying glass just to read the instructions half the time. But at least that, I got them. So I'm going to put all that over here. And now to thread it, now I already started it. It's supposed to look like this. Okay. Now I already started it, and this is the back side. This is the front side. And I noticed that the white wasn't really showing that much. But I don't want to mess it up because I figure if I put more white, especially in this area right here, it's going to mess up the threads. So I think I'm just going to leave it alone. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to do it over. I need more. I definitely need more red. I mean, they do give you enough yarn, you know, to start the project with. That's for sure. And I mean, they have to, right? Otherwise, you run out of yarn. Then you have to go somewhere else to you know, to purchase it. Okay, so if you want to look up another tutorial, but it's basically easy. You just, you know, put the canvas in the hoop. This the one with the screw goes on top, and the one with the canvas, of course, goes on the bottom. And I just lost my needle. Okay. So you can always, you know, watch a tutorial, show you how to do it. I'm not using the white. I might use the white later. I'm not sure because right now I'm using this one. So let me cut this out. So I want to show you. Oh, I want to make sure I don't cut the yarn. Okay. I want to show you how to put the thread in. Okay, make sure I find the beginning, because it's always hard to find the beginning, and then trying to figure out which one's the end. And then if you're not careful, it starts, what do you call it, going inside the it starts, you know, making knots. So this is basically the needle. And you're going to see that hole in there. If you can see it. I don't know if you can see it. Anyway, you got to grab. This is very faint. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. But you have to put the needle in the hole. Okay? And then you have to like slide it, guide it, and slide it into the, what do you call it? All the way back. Once you know how to do it, it's easy. Slide it all the way through the needle, I mean the hook, until it comes out on the top. And then you just thread your thread in here like that. And then don't put too much, because you got to pull all that back out to the front. And then when you pull it to the front, just don't lose that needle. And there is your thread, it being hooked. Okay? So it's fairly easy. I had to watch a few tutorials before I finally got the gist of it. Do leave a little bit of your tail long, because you're going to have to punch. You're going to punch in. So I'm going to start right here. That's where I'm going to start. So I'm going to go in. And I'm going to grab the yarn that was hanging out of the needle. I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to bring this back out as far as I can. And then I'm going to hold it. Actually, I'm just going to pull the needle for it to be flush on the canvas. And now I'm going to hold that thread in the back. And now I'm just going to start punching. But when you punch in, and make sure it hits flush right here, that top of the blue goes all the way and it hits the canvas. Okay, so you're going to go a little bit up, make sure it goes all the way, well, not this blue, but the bottom blue goes all the way in. And then you're going to pull it out slowly, because you're making a hoop in the back. And then you're going to go to the next one, go all until it's flush. And if you can, through the back, hold that thread. Just until you get the hang of it. And you can feel it. You can kind of feel it in the back. So I try to go, because I can feel it that it's going in through the other yarn. And that's what I don't like. But, I don't want them to be too long. but I don't want them to be too short neither. And once you get the hang of it, you know the hoops are going to be there. Before, when I wasn't hitting it flush, the yarn just kept coming out. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? So that I was pulling the yarn. I was putting the needle in like halfway. And I wasn't doing it flush. And then finally, when I did it flush, because the yarn of the hoop is going to be the length of the needle. And then there's some other ones that you can look up how to order different needles, and they give you different sizes. Like, see, I keep punching into that white. So I'm going to turn it around. Now I'm going to go back. Sometimes what I do is, like I said, I hold the thread in the back. Just to make sure it doesn't pull back up. Now, this time I'm not too worried about, because the rest of it is just all red now. I could feel it punching in through the other threads. So I do definitely want to order an adjustable hook or needle. I definitely want to invest for one of those. Because with one of those, you go a lot. I noticed you go a lot faster. I mean, you still have to take your time, I'm sure, but I mean, maybe it just looks fast because they speed up the camera, but it's better than you trying to guess, the length of the hoop. So I'm getting there. Like I said, you can feel it. Okay, now I'm going to go back. And make sure your needle, the pointy part, is facing in the direction that you're going. I mean, you'll see it, You'll get the gist of it. And don't pull it out too far. Otherwise, you'll pull up the loop. And that's what you don't want to do. Yeah, it's a little, like, I feel like you're playing a little bit of tug of war with it, but all in all, it's, it goes fairly fast. I could see doing this, like if you're just like listening to a podcast or, listening to something. And you definitely do want to go all the way up to your line, whatever design you're doing. And then they have it like this could be the design, and then the back part could be a design. So they kind of like use both of them. which is pretty cool. Cause one could be flat and the other, and one part could be like puffy. As long as you keep an eye on what you're doing, you know. I wouldn't recommend watching a video and doing this at the same time, because you have to keep an eye on where you're punching. Now, if the hoops are too long, like if I made the hoop too long, I'll just cut it, you know, and just put just push it in. Or try to, you know, just play with it. But the whole thing is make sure you don't pull that loop. Don't pull that loop up. I think I missed a spot right there. Yeah, that's okay. And like I said, this is the back part anyway. I mean, you could always look and make sure that the hoops are even. That would help a lot too. You don't want them too big. And just be careful you don't poke your fingers. So it is kind of fun, actually. At first, I have to admit, I was getting frustrated. Like, I'm not getting the gist of this. Like, I don't see what they're doing. But, you know, like everything else, I mean, you know, you have to read the instructions or watch a few tutorials, and of course, you know, them showing the size, you know, like the length of the needle, it determines the length of the hoops. So that's what I was like, oh, okay, got it. That's when I decided I have to go flush with the needle all the way in. Otherwise, I'm not going to get those hoops. And I was only doing it like halfway, and it just wasn't working. But now I see that, yeah, you'd have to, you know, if you want to really go fast, you definitely have to get an adjustable needle. Okay, so that's done. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use these scissors. I'm going to pull out the thread, okay, very lightly. And then I'm going to cut like close to the edge. Okay, so I don't know what happened to my thread. Let me see if I can grab it. It fell all the way down there. Okay, so I'm going to put this away. And now I'm just going to trim the excess. I mean, I really don't have to, because it's like, you know. Like I see it looks better here than it does back there. And this is supposed to be the right side. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if this is going to work. But, you know, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it off. because I don't need it on here anymore. That's basically it. And I'm just going to squeeze it and push it out. And take the ring out. And so that's done. And now I am going to just try to smush it down. I'll fix it later. I'll go with that little pink, that needle, and try to, what do you call it? You know, try to separate them a little bit. You know, but for the most part, it's already done. So this is the back, and then I'm gonna grab this right here. I'm gonna peel it off. I should have glued it. I should have glued it. But if I glue it, I would have to get my glue gun on. It's gonna take a minute before, what do you call it? I'll do it on the next one. So this is really, really tacky. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put it on here, press it down. And I did have my other scissors, and I don't know. Oh, here they are. What I did with them. So it's basically already done. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut around. I'm just going to cut through both of them. So I could just save some time. And then later on, I'll what do you call it? I'll get my glue gun out next time, but that's basically it. That's the remnants. I'm just gonna go over it again. I just push the loops up a little bit so I can get closer. I want to get that heart shape. I don't want to get that. If I would have folded it, it would have looked a little better. Okay. So there it is, and just let me trim a little. I'm not gonna really do much. It really isn't. I'm just gonna take this out because this looks silly right there. So, okay. Okay. And then I'll probably just go, you know, maybe with some glue or something. See how the loops are a little bit, they're a little bit big. You probably can't see it on the top. I just squish them. I just squish them down. Like I said, I'll get some glue. I can always get the glue gun and just try to, you know, just smush it down a little bit. But for the most part, that's how it's supposed to look. And this is what I got. But I'm going to be more careful with the loops. And I'm just going to put it on my stick. And I think I have 1, 2, and I got three more to go. Okay, so like a fish in a sea, so glad you caught me. I hope you like this little tutorial of how to make these little hearts. And if you want to see me do more little projects like this, just like, subscribe, comment, and yeah, we will see you next week on Saturday Night Threads. Bye!